Hello fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the Dawn MURASAME altar from the Change Heroes line for Avataro Sentai DonBrothers. And he's just a big purple shark, so what's not to love? I think this is going to be a ton of fun. Really nice artwork here on the front of the box. Take a look up top, you can see a close-up picture of the toy, and this is number 8 in the series. Over here, just kind of showing how the gimmick works. All the pieces can disconnect and are interchangeable with past releases. Over here on this side, just some more artwork of the shark and the robot. More artwork of the robot. Back here, again, shark, robot, compatible with all the past releases. So this one does not come with an Avataro gear, which makes total sense because Dawn MURASAME doesn't really use gears. I know his Premium Bandai release of the sword is going to come with gears, but I don't think he really uses them. So, kind of doesn't surprise me that one is not included here. I don't know if we'll ever see an alter gear for this later on down the road. We might. Released in some other way if, you know, one of the Dawn brothers gets a hold of it and uses it, or he joins them later on. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But in any case, let's go ahead, let's get this out of the box, and let's take a closer look. So here is the Dawn MURASAME altar out of the package. And as you can see, it's pretty much just a purple repaint of the Dawn Momotaro altar. It is very, very, very similar to the point that I would say most of it is exactly the same pieces. Just for a quick little comparison, here is the Dawn Momotaro altar. Now granted, this is the mini plot version just because that's kind of what I had handy. But even still, if I take these two pieces out, these two shark pieces just clip into the hands. So I can just take these out temporarily. And you can see the torsos here are the same, just with a different symbol painted in the center. The crotch plates are the same, the thighs, the legs. Really just the shoes are different. The shoulder pieces, you can see here that all of these pieces are the same. All of the forearms and the hands, all that. It's really just the two shoulder pads, the head, and the feet. And of course the two shark pieces, but those are just handheld accessories, so I guess technically you could have somebody else hold them. They just clip onto these bars here. So I'll take him back out of the way. And again, it's not a problem. It just kind of, you know, makes total sense for them to reuse that body to make this guy. He's very purple. He doesn't really have a ton of paint applications. He's got this nice symbol here in the chest that I really like. He's got a little bit of silver here. It's got some nice pink here on what will be the fins in the shark mode. So I do appreciate that. And I think the head sculpt looks pretty good. Let me move this up so we can get in here. Really nice silver paint there for the head sculpt. I really also like that kind of orangish red for the visor. I think that looks really nice. The head, of course, can swivel side to side. I believe this can, yeah, this can pop out since it's just a peg and a peg hole. This can swivel. You have a hinge here. You have a swivel here. You also have a hinge there. You can swivel the hands. You can swivel at the waist. Swivel all around here at the hip. Kick out to the side. Thighs swivel. Almost 180 degree. I'd say pretty much 180 degree bend there in the knee. And then you have a ball joint in the ankle. So most of these articulation points are just because you can unpeg everything and mix and match with the previous releases. I'm not going to show all that off here. I feel like at this point you guys understand the gimmick of the Change Hero line. But yeah, all these pieces that you can unpeg, you can switch with other releases. There's really nothing different in terms of connectability. So you can mix and match, make whatever you can. Just take everything apart and put it together how you wish. Now, they do include this. Obviously, he does not come with a large sword like Dawn Momotaro Altar did. But I feel like because they used so much of the Dawn Momotaro Altar body, and this was probably just like in the sprue when they make the toy, they threw it in here. I don't think he uses it in the show, but if you wanted to attach a gear to his back, you could go ahead and take advantage of that. If you wanted to steal the sword from Dawn Momotaro, you could have him use it by putting it on there. But yeah, this is just included. Nowhere in the directions does it tell you to attach this to his back. It's just included in the box, and they're just kind of like, hey, here you go. You can have this if you want it. So basically how this is supposed to work, he's supposed to clip the 2 shark head pieces into his hands, and these are kind of his weapons. So if we bring these back in, you can see this has a ton of nice silver paint on it. That looks really sharp. And then we have the red for the glasses there for the shark, and he's got some silver paint for the teeth. And then he's got this sword piece here that just kind of hides inside. Otherwise, you grab it and flip it around so you can kind of come up with whatever poses you would like. I guess you would just kind of have him use this as like a shield weapon. Almost kind of reminds me of like a Gundam or something like that. A Gundam Wing had that big shield on his arm. And then you just have this kind of giant blade hand. So, but again, you don't have to use these. If you want to take these off and have him use weapons from other previous releases, you can absolutely do that. But this is kind of his base mode here with his 2 shark head accessories. I think he looks cool. I really like the color scheme. I kind of wish the shades of purple were a little bit more distinct. And I wish that they were kind of more evenly incorporated. Like right now you kind of have kind of a darker plum purple and then a little bit lighter purple. And when you put them up close, I feel like you can see it. But to just kind of stand them here, it doesn't really jump out at you. I love the pink. I think the nice flare of pink looks really good. Maybe have the feet be pink or have the joints here be pink or something. I feel like also introducing maybe like a teal in this color scheme or maybe like a lighter green would have been a really cool, fun accent color. I don't know. Either way, I do think it looks pretty cool. And it does have a shark mode, so let's go ahead and transform into that. Alright, so transformation is actually really, really simple. You're going to take the legs, kind of straighten them out, turn these, I would say using the thigh swivel, turn the legs out to the side so that the bump for the knee articulation is facing outward. And then you're going to flip the foot around 180 and then peg them in together. And that kind of naturally forms the shark tail. If you do have that piece pegged into the back, go ahead and take that out now. Flip that sword back inside, like so. Then you're going to just rotate the arms up 180 degrees, and then bring these up, and they will peg together, so there is kind of a little spot right here, and that's where these are going to peg into, so there's one here, and then another one right here on this side. So kind of bring this up like he's clapping his hands together, and that will peg together, and then you just kind of push this down over top of the robot head and then just kind of situate it till it's even, and that's it. There he is. There is your shark. He's a very thin shark. He doesn't have any kind of kibble or anything, which I think is good. You know, but it's really just the complete legs of the robot down here for the tail, which, I mean, it kind of works. You can even kind of like have the tail swivel back and forth like he's swimming, which is kind of fun. You can open and close the mouth. That point that I showed you there kind of acts as the pivot point. So you can, it'll kind of bring the arms a little bit forward, so you will reveal the robot head a little bit, but you can absolutely open the mouth of the shark. And then if you want to close it back down, then you can kind of push that back up a little bit, but you can open that up. You can even open up a little bit more if you want it to be a little wider and you don't mind about these back pieces here connecting. So that is up to you. I'm going to just close it up. But yeah, that's why I said to remove this piece. I mean, technically you could leave this on here if you want. It's just going to look weird when he's swimming around as a shark. But honestly, it's a decent little shark mode. I was not a big fan of the peach mode for Don Momotaro. That's just me. So I definitely think this is an improvement. I mean, this at least looks like a shark. You can kind of tell what's going on. You have the two little fins down here. The one fin on top. You know, you have the big tail. I feel like this is definitely more successful than the peach was. So, yeah, I think this is pretty cool. And like I said, you can almost kind of bend it around and get some dynamic poses. I don't know how well. No, it'll stand actually pretty well between the shoulder and the two fins down here. You can actually get them to stand pretty well. That's not too bad. Yeah, not too bad at all. So I think this guy's a lot of fun. I mean, yes, he's just a repaint slash remold of the Don Momotaro altar, but I think it works. I mean, there's enough that's different. He's got new feet, he's got new shoulder pads, he's got a new head, he's got these 2 shark head accessories. I think it works. I really like the color scheme. A lot of nice paint applications on the robot head and the shark head pieces. I love the pink on the shoulder pads. I wish there was a little bit more of this kind of matte pink paint elsewhere on the body, but I get it. You know, they can only afford so much paint, but I love that color. I think that looks absolutely fantastic. Otherwise, you know, he's decent. He's good. I think the shark mode's pretty convincing. I certainly think it's more convincing than the peach mode was for Don Momotaro Alter, so it's got that going for it. It does just kind of look like the robot, you know, was clapping over his head, and then the rest of him, he just kind of turned his feet. But, I mean, it is what it is. It's a pretty decent shark mode. And I like the robot mode as well. I kind of wish he had like a large version of Don Murasame's sword, but I don't know that this robot has anything like that in the show, so they might just be going for show accuracy. I do like the sword here that comes out of the shark head. I think that's kind of cool, but I would have liked to have like a giant, you know, pink sword on his back. Again, it would have just been more pink for the robot mode. But yeah, it is what it is. In any case, I think this is a lot of fun. I definitely recommend checking it out. And I think this will bring us current on the Change Hero line so far for DonBrothers. I'm assuming more will happen eventually. We do have, I think, at least one more mini-plot set coming out, and they're kind of cross-compatible, but I'm not sure. I don't think the Change Hero line is winding down. But I think I'm finally caught up, so that's good. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, thanks so much for watching.